So we're going to start back on the posterior chain of things, right? So we worked on our quads, adductors, IT bands, got into the psoas. We're going to go into the hamstrings, all too common for people in our industry that are constantly bent forward and hunched forward. As I mentioned in the intro video, it's kind of like if you're like this all day long, these muscles are being held on like little spindles just trying to keep you stabilized. Like I said, it's like someone's sitting there with reins around your shoulders just trying to pull you back because all of your weight is shifted forward. All of this is getting so tense. So the reason a lot of us have lower back pain is because our hamstrings are so tight, because they're in tension all the time. So what we're gonna do is use this roller first. Keep your baseball. We got this crappy chair handy. And we're going to start. So on the ground like this, you can do it. You might feel something. The issue being there's not a lot of gravity and a lot of mass involved here, right? So my lever angle isn't really proportionate enough to get into the muscle, the hamstring, which is two muscles. So it's kind of deep, and you don't get a lot of it from this position here. You can roll one leg on top. You can get kind of that outer IT band again, work a little bit up towards the insertion into the glute there, work back down, right? And we can do that to both sides. You might get a little bit of relief from it. It'll probably feel good after a long shift. But the more intimate, in-depth one is going to be on a chair, a box, something that's dense. So we're lucky enough to have this chair. And what you're going to do is take your baseball, your lacrosse ball, whatever it may be, and you're going to start with it like this. So we'll start from the glute and work up. Now, I'm encouraging you to start here, and that ball is going to kind of stay in a line here. So what I want you to do is put it underneath first, and then you're going to kind of work in a little bit of a circle. Now, because this base is a little smaller, it's kind of tough. If you're at a gym, they might have a box or something that's dense, that's a little bit larger. But for right now, I want to try and keep this leg limp as much as possible, and I'm searching, keeping all my weight on that hamstring, and I'm looking for like that knot, right? So I didn't feel anything back towards my glute, so I found one right here. Pretty painful. I'm going to stay all my weight on it. Breathe in, and then I want you to lift the leg up, exhale, breathe in, and you're just going to try and breathe naturally. You're going to pump back, back, and forth. Now, I am moving slightly as I'm doing this. I'm shifting my weight around on that ball, and I'm trying to get all the dimensions of that hamstring. And again, this is that tension, relaxed response. As I'm creating tension in my hamstring, I'm lengthening that muscle, and I'm allowing this ball to kind of penetrate the castle wall, so to speak. And it's getting in there, and then as it relaxes, I put pressure onto it, and I roll and find a new spot, okay? And that's a really effective way in getting rid of those trigger points and those tension points that are harboring all that pain and causing you all that achy low back. So again, no real rule of thumb as to how long you're gonna do it for, but I would recommend that it's at least a minute. As my rule of thumb goes for all of this, if you're not feeling anything, if you're able to roll all over this thing and you don't feel one point, move it along. Get on to the next leg. It's more of an efficiency thing than it is you have to spend time on it. So as we get done on the hamstring, we're going to work our way back. We're going to focus on the muscles of the glute and up into the hip and low back area. Good.